Okay, Chrissy, I'll get in the tub with you, then we can get it on.
You've probably laughed until you cried at the outrageous misunderstandings and Jack Tripper's signature pratfalls in Three's Company. But behind Three's Company and the unforgettable stumbles of John Ritter was a chaotic behind-the-scenes environment that felt more like a battlefield. In 1977, the network once threw down $8,000 just to rescue an actor in time for filming. A young boy who accidentally wandered into a zoo scene turned out to be Ritter's real-life son. And all of that still pales in comparison to the highly controversial departure of Suzanne Somers. This is the truth about Three's Company, 1977. 20. Suzanne Somers was fired for demanding $150,000 per episode.
So what are you doing at Polly Kelly's house? I'm not. Yeah, but I called Polly Kelly.
Have you ever wondered what really kills a legend? Few people realize that at the height of its success, the soul of this iconic sitcom was removed in the most bitter way possible. Suzanne Somers bravely demanded a salary of $150,000 in pursuit of fairness after discovering she was earning only a fraction of what her male co-star made. But instead of negotiating, American Broadcasting Company chose to sideline her, reducing her role to brief 60-second phone scenes before ultimately firing her. Her departure left a void that fans felt deeply and couldn't replace, yet losing the role didn't break her. She pivoted into business, becoming the queen of the Thigh Master and a pioneer in the fight for pay equality in Hollywood. Suzanne Somers may have lost a role, but she reclaimed dignity for women across the entertainment industry. Do you remember that empty feeling when Chrissy was no longer on screen? 19. ABC initially dropped the show for lacking potential. Can you believe a show once dismissed as worthless would go on to change sitcom history before becoming a cultural icon? Three's Company was nearly thrown away by American Broadcasting Company in 1976 for being too weak to compete. Ironically, when CBS considered picking it up, ABC quickly reconsidered and decided to completely overhaul the show. A turning point. The legendary writing team behind All in the Family was brought in to rebuild everything from the ground up. They kept John Ritter but added two perfect pieces to the puzzle: Joyce DeWitt Janet and Suzanne Somers Chrissy. This dream cast transformed a flat script into a breakout phenomenon when it premiered in March 1977. From a near-canceled series, Three's Company proved that sometimes early failure is just the foundation of an enduring legend. If it were you, would you have had the patience to bet on a rejected show? 18. Ritter hated the episode Chrissy and the Guru. Imagine tuning in expecting the usual laughs from Jack, Janet, Chrissy, but instead feeling an awkward, uncomfortable silence. That's exactly how audiences and even John Ritter himself felt about one of the most infamous low points of the series. In Season 3, Episode 7, titled Chrissy and the Guru, Chrissy's innocence is exploited by a fake spiritual leader, Rama Mageesh. While Jack and Janet eventually step in to save her in classic comedic fashion, it wasn't enough to fix what many saw as a tone-deaf script. Behind the scenes, Ritter never hid his dislike for the episode. He openly stated that the script lost the subtlety and signature humor that defined Three's Company. Instead of lighthearted entertainment, the episode felt heavy and off balance, leaving him frustrated and uncomfortable even while playing Jack Tripper. 17. Don Knotts brought new life to Three's Company. Can you believe it? An unexpected cast change nearly overshadowed the entire main cast of one of America's most iconic sitcoms. Back in 1979, when the Roper couple left for their own spin-off, it created a massive void in the show. But as luck would have it, Don Knott stepped in as Ralph Furley. No longer just a dull landlord, Furley became a self-proclaimed ladies' man with a wildly eccentric fashion sense and unbeatable facial expressions. His arrival sent the show's ratings skyrocketing to number 2 on the charts. Audiences loved him so much that many forgot the show even existed without Furley. Some hardcore fans even insist the Furley era was the true golden age. So, what about you? Do you prefer the classic ropers or the chaotic charm of Ralph Furley? 16. Chrissy almost went to another actress. Few people know that the iconic role of Chrissy Snow was originally given to Susan Lanier. Even after completing the second pilot in 1976, she still failed to impress Fred Silverman, the powerful head of ABC at the time. With sharp instinct, Silverman believed she lacked the innocence and charm needed to fully embody the character. In a last-minute decision, he recalled Suzanne Somers after seeing her on The Tonight Show. Just 24 hours before filming the official pilot, Somers was called in, and the result was undeniable. Her natural humor, charisma, and charm won over the entire crew. Chrissy Snow became more than just a role. She became a pop culture icon of the 70s and 80s, all thanks to that bold last-minute decision. 15. A BC bought a theater to secure Lindley. ABC was so determined to cast Audra Lindley as Mrs. Roper in Three's Company that they spent $8,000, equivalent to about $41,000 today, to buy out the entire theater where she was performing. That was no small amount at the time, showing just how crucial the role was to the producers. Born in 1918 in Los Angeles, Lindley began her acting career on Broadway in 1942. After years on stage, she transitioned to television and quickly made a mark as Mrs. Roper, a middle-aged landlady stuck in a loveless marriage, constantly seeking attention and affection. The role made her both hilarious and endearing to audiences. 14. Jack Tripper was cast, thanks to a standout pilot performance. John Ritter landed the role of Jack Tripper, a clumsy yet charming chef, thanks to his standout performance in the pilot of Three's Company. In the episode, Jack attends a farewell party for a friend and ends up searching for a place to stay. Things take a hilarious turn when he wakes up in the bathtub of an apartment being cleaned by Janet and Chrissy. The scene where Jack falls into the tub didn't just deliver laughs, it showcased Ritter's physical comedy, quick timing, and natural humor, making him stand out immediately. Born into an artistic family, he was the son of country music legend Tex Ritter and actress Dorothy Faye. He later studied at the University of Southern California's School of Dramatic Arts, where he refined his acting skills. Before Three's Company, Ritter had appeared in several films and TV shows, but Jack Tripper became his breakthrough, turning him into a Hollywood star and earning him major awards and recognition. 13. Suzanne Somers and John Ritter reconciled just before his death. The relationship between Suzanne Somers and John Ritter, the inseparable stars of Three's Company, was once so strained it seemed beyond repair. When Somers was fired in 1982 over a salary dispute, she felt isolated and even abandoned by those closest to her, including Ritter. She believed that given their past chemistry, he may have felt resentment or disappointment toward her departure. Their relationship remained distant for nearly 2 decades, leaving fans heartbroken over the silence between one of sitcom history's most beloved on-screen duos. But the story didn't end there. In 2003, just 1 month before Ritter passed away from an aortic dissection, the two finally spoke again. Ritter reached out first, offering forgiveness, and Somers responded with gratitude. They even began discussing a reunion project, a chance to bring their chemistry back to the screen. Tragically, time ran out before that could happen. 12. Priscilla Barnes did not enjoy her time on the show. Priscilla Barnes, who replaced Suzanne Somers as Terry Alden on Three's Company, did not have a pleasant experience during the show's final 3 seasons. Although she respected her co-stars and had no personal conflicts, the working environment itself was far from comfortable. She revealed that the producers were extremely controlling, even criticizing her, simply for having hair that was too blonde. The constant scrutiny and lack of creative freedom left Barnes feeling restricted and unhappy throughout her time on the show. In a 2002 interview with CNN, she described those years as the worst 3 years of her career. After filming just a few episodes, she already felt uncomfortable on set, largely due to tension among the production team. She even tried to leave her contract but was unable to do so. 11. Lonnie Anderson auditioned for Chrissy but was rejected for being too good. Few people know that before Suzanne Somers became an icon, the role of Chrissy Snow nearly went to Lonnie Anderson. Her audition was incredibly impressive, but John Ritter later revealed the surprising reason she didn't get the part: she was too beautiful and too intelligent. According to him, audiences wouldn't believe that someone as sharp as her would struggle to pay rent and need roommates. Despite missing out on the lead role, Anderson still made a brief guest appearance in Season 2, before truly breaking out in WKRP in Cincinnati. There, she played Jennifer Marlowe, a character who was not only glamorous but also highly intelligent, challenging the dumb blonde stereotype of the time. Her career continued to rise with projects like The Jane Mansfield Story, along with her widely publicized marriage to Burt Reynolds. Lonnie Anderson's story proves one thing: sometimes losing a major role opens the door to becoming something even more uniquely unforgettable. So what do you think if Lonnie Anderson had played Chrissy? Would the show still have had the same comedic charm? 10. John Larroquette altered the script to be seen. In the episode Jack Moves Out, Season 3, Episode 21 of Three's Company, John Larroquette made a memorable mark with a bold decision. He chose to alter the script so the audience could actually see his face. Originally, the police officer he played was supposed to wear a hat that obscured his appearance. But Larroquette removed the hat and improvised by reciting the Miranda rights on the spot, both to stay in character and to reveal himself on camera. As he later told the AV Club, "I had to find a way to get the hat off, and all of this was completely selfish and intentional." Not only did the producers accept it, they kept the moment in the final cut, turning it into a standout scene. In the episode, Jack, played by John Ritter, angrily decides to move out and takes a live-in chef job for Larry's boss. When he sneaks back to his old apartment to grab his belongings, he's caught by the officer, played by Larroquette, while Janet and Chrissy are asleep. 9. Jeffrey Tambor played for 3 different roles. Have you ever wondered why a character who appears as an annoying neighbor in one episode suddenly shows up as a dentist or a psychiatrist in the next? That's exactly what happened with Jeffrey Tambor in Three's Company. After making a strong impression as Jeffrey P. Brooks III, the arrogant neighbor in the spin-off The Ropers, Tambor made an unforgettable return to the main series, playing 3 entirely different characters, from the wealthy and love-struck Winston Cromwell III, to the misunderstood psychiatrist Tom Miller, to the eccentric dentist Philip Green. Tambor showcased his incredible versatility. His ability to transform into completely different personalities added unique comedic layers to the show, making every episode he appeared in impossible to look away from. So, what about you? Which version of Jeffrey Tambor did you like the most? 8. John Ritter's son appeared in an episode. One of the cutest moments in Three's Company history happened completely by accident. In the Season 6 opening scene at the zoo, Janet is feeding a goat when a toddler wanders into the frame as if auditioning for a third adorable child role. Surprisingly, it was not a hired child actor, but Jason Ritter, John Ritter's son, who seemed more interested in the goat than his mother Nancy Morgan. Observing nearby, perhaps unaware he was stepping into TV history. Rather than cut or reshoot the scene, producers kept it as it was so naturally sweet. No one knew they were capturing the unofficial debut of a future actor. Jason Ritter later became a familiar face on screen with lead roles in Joan of Arcadia and Parenthood, proving that sometimes great careers begin with curious children and friendly animals. 7. Larry Dallas was originally meant to appear only once. Larry Dallas. Jack Tripper's indispensable friend was initially intended to appear in just one episode. In his first appearance, No Children, No Dogs, he wasn't expected to become a series mainstay, but audience reaction changed everything. Richard Klein's chemistry with John Ritter and Larry's natural comedic charm convinced producers to keep him turning a brief guest role into a central character for many iconic episodes. He became the source of many laugh-out-loud moments, making every scene with Larry memorable. Across 8 seasons, Larry appeared in 110 episodes, becoming the only character, besides Jack Tripper, to feature across all 3 series: Three's Company, The Ropers, and Three's a Crowd. Do you love this character? Share your favorite Larry moment in the comments. 6. Joyce DeWitt, considered quitting after 6 episodes. When talking about Three's Company, you can't ignore Janet Wood, the sharp, strong-willed brain of Apartment 201. A talented florist and an energetic aerobics instructor, Janet embodied the image of a modern woman of her time. But did you know we almost lost the perfect Janet Joyce DeWitt once felt extremely constrained and even considered leaving the show because her character lacked depth? Fortunately, a last-minute turnaround from the producers with smarter, more refined writing changed everything. From a role at risk of fading into the background, Janet evolved into an irreplaceable core of the show, balancing Chrissy's innocence and Jack's charming absurdity. What do you think about this multi-talented character? Let me know below. 5. Three's Company originated in the United Kingdom. Here's a fun fact. Three's Company is actually a transatlantic hybrid originally inspired by the British series Man About the House on ITV. The original premise was already bold for its time. 2 single women in London agree to let Robin Tripp, a culinary student, move in after finding him asleep in their bathtub. To get past their strict landlord, George Roper, they invent a classic lie: Robin is gay. When American Broadcasting Company acquired the rights, the show underwent a full Americanization. Robin Tripp became Jack Tripper, Foggy London, turned into sunny Santa Monica, and the comedic pacing became faster and more energetic, perfectly tailored to American audiences. 4. The Season 6 episode The Heiress is one of the best episodes. If you had to pick the greatest episode in Three's Company history, what would it be? For me, it's definitely The Heiress Season 6. This episode delivers a masterclass in physical comedy from John Ritter. It all starts when Jack Tripper, terrified of flying, accidentally mixes a tranquilizer with a strong cocktail called the Rocket. The result? A completely intoxicated Jack, stumbling through a fancy party with ridiculous dance moves and chaotic collisions. Every stagger, every facial expression is perfectly timed, making it impossible not to laugh. The performance was so outstanding that critics compared Ritter to the legendary Lucille Ball from I Love Lucy. In fact, Lucille Ball later appeared in a special episode to honor moments like these, solidifying Ritter's place as a comedic icon. The brilliance of The Heiress doesn't rely on Jack alone. The entire supporting cast works in perfect harmony, creating an episode that is both chaotic and brilliantly crafted. 3. Norman Fell's portrayal of Stanley Roper was based on a real man. Norman Fell, who played Stanley Roper in Three's Company, drew inspiration from a real man he knew in Philadelphia. He described him as naive, awkward, and interacting with women, and clumsy with household repairs, yet confident in his charm. This man believed people noticed him because of his well-groomed appearance, and Fell skillfully translated these traits into Stanley Roper, a middle-aged, pompous, yet endearing character, making audiences laugh while feeling a sense of familiarity. By basing the character on real observation, Fell gave Stanley unexpected depth, turning him into an iconic representation of self-important middle-aged men oblivious to themselves. 2. The spin-off Three's a Crowd was not very successful. After Three's Company ended in 1984, a spin-off titled Three's a Crowd was created, continuing the story of Jack Tripper alongside his new girlfriend, Vicki Bradford. However, their relationship is constantly disrupted by Vicki's wealthy and conservative father, James Bradford, who keeps interfering, creating situations that are both humorous and tense. Despite introducing new characters like young chef E.Z. Taylor and attempting a more serious tone, the series couldn't escape the massive shadow of the original. Lacking the signature lighthearted rhythm, Three's a Crowd ended after just one season with 22 episodes, marking the conclusion of Jack Tripper's long journey. 1. The theme song was composed by Joe Raposa. Did you know the legendary theme song, Come and Knock on Our Door, was created by Joe Raposo, the mind behind many classic tunes from Sesame Street? More than just a children's music composer, Raposo brought a playful yet charming energy to Three's Company. From the very first notes, the song makes you want to knock on the door and join in. Interestingly, the producers initially planned for the main cast to perform the theme song themselves, but after testing it, they realized the cast's vocals wouldn't create a hit. So the song was handed over to the Ray Charles singers along with the refined voice of Julia Rinker, and together they turned a simple tune into a television icon of the 1970s. That melody became the soul that opened the door to the chaotic, laughter-filled world of Jack, Janet, and Chrissy, making viewers feel like welcomed friends in their shared apartment. Do you remember any lines from the theme song? Drop your favorite lyric in the comments. These 20 facts reveal a completely different side of Three's Company. Behind the laughter on screen lies a backstage world full of drama and unexpected twists. Which fact surprised you the most today? Share your thoughts and don't forget to send this to friends who love Three's Company so they can discover these secrets too. So, what topic should I dive into next?